Reacts. Welcome, guys. I hope you stay here, stay tuned. I hope you like the videos. Maybe even subscribe if you like it, of course. I'm late to this. I just started filming. I just started filming for YouTube. Maybe if something happens with this, I just wanna see and maybe share my opinion because I have a lot of opinions. It doesn't actually matter because I'm from Eastern Europe. No one cares. I can actually give you some insight to what is happening here, right? To how everyone considers the situation here, and then I'll give you my opinion that I think it's objective, at least just a bit objective. But so what happened is Snoop, obviously, well, from what I hear, Snoop is angry and salty from a thing that happened like 20 years ago, something that M didn't want to do a feature, I suppose. And now he's talking ish about Eminem, about how he is not in his top 10, which is cool. I guess M is not in my top 10. Maybe in top 10, yeah, but I don't listen to Eminem as much as the next person. But the thing is, he said that, and he said that Eminem is not a huge contributor, is not a contributor at all to hip hop, and that he could live without his records, without all of his albums. And M responded to that, and he said that it's not the tone of voice, it's not what he said previously, but the end of the video where he said, the end of an interview where he said that M is he could live without M's contribution to hip hop. He could live without that, and we'll see what happens. And then after we review this, because Royce is obviously defending Eminem, I just hope the Royce is objective. I hope he will give an honest opinion, and I hope it's not too much. I don't like big arguments. I don't. Let's see. Let's actually see, and we'll react to that. All right.
I got a correlation with all of this, with all these accolades he get from the black community, all this upper echelon shit he do in that black space. What has Eminem done except release that Black Lives Matter bullshit ass album, Rivals? What else? What has he done to benefit the same black culture that he benefits from?
He gave you 50 Cent, G Unit.
He gave you 50 Cent, which 50 Cent said that he wouldn't be there without Eminem. So if Mao says something
Think
else,
so like I said, I didn't think so. He didn't do nothing. Thanks.
Mouse, what are you saying, bro? What is he saying? 50 Cent said that that Eminem is responsible for his career. I don't understand. I really don't understand. Because, and plus 50 Cent is 50 Cent. We all know who 50 Cent is. You can dislike or like his music, but when you look at it objectively, 50 Cent is, he was a major contributor to hip hop. He influenced a lot of other rappers. He influenced a lot of other styles of rap. Even if not, I mean, there's nothing to argue here. 50 Cent said it himself.
What you mean? What do you mean he ain't do nothing?
He didn't do anything. What did he do?
Well,
what
nigga, I just
okay, D12 is not a I don't think that's a good argument because they fell apart. The only one from D12 was actually Eminem that was successful. Right? That doesn't hold weight to me. But 50 Cent and the others that are signed to Shade Records.
told you. What do you mean? So what I just said don't hold no merit? 50 Cent G Unit? That's not good?
No, that's not.
So you saying you don't like their music, or what are you saying?
What did you do?
Yeah.
What
What's the argument here?
did you do to benefit the black culture that you eat from? Did you give back?
You're ignorant, bro. He's ignorant. He doesn't want to listen to what Royce is saying to him. He doesn't want to listen. That's why you can't have a normal conversation with people. That's why. They just wanna push their own narrative, and they wanna.
Why
Let's play.
are the kids in Detroit where you live? Are the black kids in Detroit where you live? Are they better off because of anything you
Ah,
did?
man,
No.
are you saying do he give to charities? Is that what you're asking?
That's what I'm saying. Do what
Yeah,
did
yeah,
he
he give
do?
to charities every single year, for sure, for sure. I know that
You
personally.
know that I don't see it.
He said, "I don't see it." Did he just say, "I don't see it"? So you have to go what? You have to go public. That's terrible. That's terrible. That's the worst. If you want to give to someone, you shouldn't take credit for that. Because if he was to take credit for that, if he was going public with his, then this same dude, the mouse, would say, "Oh, he's showing off that he wants to help, but he's not really helping. He just wanna fit in the black community."
Where's the
Why the
You
fuck
don't
you
you
gotta
don't
see
have
it,
to
nigga?
see it.
Yeah, well, you
the
ain't from
people?
Why do
Detroit.
you
What
need
you
to
gotta
see
see
it?
it for?
That don't mean it didn't
There's
happen.
many black.
I mean, you
There's many
should
black
see
people
it.
That doesn't mean it didn't happen.
for
You
Detroit. I
should,
told you
Just
that.
like Dave
especially
Mays and
as
them
the
be
number
just like
one.
Dave Mays and them be
At,
talking about he ain't from Detroit. He's very much from Detroit.
But we
You know what
talking
I'm saying?
about
Like
they.
y'all
Why we
paint
talking about
anecdotal
anybody else?
pictures about somebody that y'all don't even know.
Why we talking about
we
anybody else other than
when
this
did you
white nigga? We
first
talking
meet him?
about him.
When did you first meet him? Because he's from Missouri and he didn't live on
Yeah, he was
8
born. He was
Mile.
born. I don't need you to tell me that, bro. Yeah, he was born in Missouri and then he moved here. You know what I'm saying? But he grew up on the east side. You know what I'm saying? Like he's from Detroit. People saying he come from a trailer park. He don't come from a trailer park. He's from Detroit. He lived in a trailer park, but he's
Okay,
from
so
Detroit. But he's from Detroit.
what's up with Basement Productions and his group with the four white boys? You know about
That
that?
I ain't never met them, dude.
All right, so the Basement Productions. I actually heard like a couple of days ago about that. I know about the song that he was saying like the black girls are this and that, and that's terrible. Especially in the climate where is at, right? It would be, I don't know. It would be much better if he was not from the U.S. If he was from Europe, it would be expected, right? I don't condone that. I will never be friends with anyone. If anyone says that in front of me, I know what I'm gonna do. But uh, they should have canceled him then. He should have stopped making music. He should have stopped. He should have done something. I don't know if he did something. He apologized, right? But he should have done something back then. And that's bad. That is bad. And from what I hear, there is more records like that. There is more records with N words and stuff like that. They say he was 16, and there's another issue. And there's one dude in battle rap, because I watch battle rap a lot. There's one dude that had the same issue, and his explanation was that he grew up like that he didn't know anything about what is happening. And I can see the argument. I can see the argument because if you are born into something, and if you're born, like, let's say you are born in a hospital, and then two, this is gonna sound completely random, but if two bears kidnap you, stay with me please. If two bears kidnap you and take you away to the forest, you're gonna consider them as your parents because you know no better. You know that's your reality. What I'm saying with this is, where I'm going with this is that maybe you can understand that, and that's why I think where Royce is coming from, that he knew about that, and he just hung out with him, and he realized that M is not racist. I still don't condone that, and I still I heard about that like 2010 or something like that, and I was like, wow, where do we live? Where do we live in? Because I live in Eastern Europe, like I said, and I was aware from young age what is happening through rap, through hip hop. I was aware,
dudes, but Basement
But you
Productions,
know
that's a
about that.
production company. That's a production company he was signed to. Yeah, I never met those white dudes
Okay.
that he was
It
in the
was
group with before.
him and three other white boys that had a group called Basement Productions. This is before he started fucking with black people.
No,
Just
Basement
to keep the
Productions.
record
Basement
straight.
Productions is the same production company that he was signed to when he signed with Dre. Same
That was
production
the
company.
the two brothers, if I'm not
Yeah, Marky
mistaken.
and Jeff. Marky and Jeff.
Exactly.
The Bass Brothers. That's who that is.
I don't know. I don't know
I
about
do
that.
know.
What do you
I
mean
do
you
know.
don't know? I'm telling you.
Maddox. I don't have
You
all the
saying you
names.
don't
I
know,
don't, I
but
don't
I'm
have
telling
all the
you.
facts.
So
I
Hey,
Royce,
don't
you,
know none of
no,
that.
you don't have all the facts. If you think what I'm telling you is false, why would I lie to you, brother? I don't have no reason to lie.
What did you say that I said was false?
Oh, I thought I heard you say that you got the facts. Like something I'm saying is false.
No, I didn't say nothing. I don't know what you said it was false, but I do have a lot of facts because, I did my research.
That's so condescending. Like, I have a lot of facts. Dave is running he's a founder of the Source magazine, which is kind of the biggest magazine in hip hop, right? But that's just it just
I
sounds
know a lot of
condescending.
shit about what
but one
happened.
thing you
That's
just
all.
spit as the fact was very wrong.
And I don't know why Dave is there, for example. He's making the well. Let's see it. Let's see.
Which is what?
In regards to the Bass Brothers and Basement Productions.
What? No, the Basement Productions was four white boys that made rap tapes together. Okay, when Eminem was like whatever, about 18 years old, 19 years
16,
old.
dog. 16.
He wasn't
16. Don't
16.
don't
There
twist
was
it.
no. Do you know the
Don't
black
twist it.
girlfriend? There was no black girlfriend. That was a lie that was made up to make it seem to justify that song where he called black women bitches. There was no black girlfriend. You're gonna sit here and tell me there was a black
How
girlfriend?
do you know that to be true?
How do you know it to be
You
true?
saying am I
How
gonna
do
sit
you
here and
know it
tell
to
you
be
something?
true?
You talking to
What's her
somebody that's
name?
friends
Where's
with him.
she
You don't
at?
know him.
Do you know that to be true? I'm asking you. Just
I
like
don't know.
you.
I don't know nothing about way back then. I know
Okay.
I've been on tour with him.
Okay.
I know I've
Thank
been
you.
on tour with him. You know
Okay.
what I'm saying? Like, so are you asking me if he's fucked
No,
black
I'm
girls?
asking you,
That's
did
is
he
that
have
what
a
you asking
black
me?
girlfriend when he was 16 that broke up with him, and that's why he wrote
I
that
didn't know him when he
song?
was 16, brother. I don't know.
No,
I didn't know
that's
he was
Nobody,
not
16,
why.
so I don't
But
know.
nobody
that was the
disputes.
reason that was given in the prepared statement that was put out to
Who
try to.
cares? Who
I
cares?
mean,
Why do you
the
care
only
about
reason
that?
anybody cares is because what I'm talking
What kind
about
of
is
girlfriend did Post Malone have when he was 16? Why you don't care
fuck
about
Post
that?
Malone. I don't give a fuck about Post Malone.
That's the problem. He said I don't give a fuck about Post Malone. But if we go off of that, off of how Eminem was behaving, if we go off of that, if we go off of what I just said previously for better rap, we can see the picture that if you are born in the environment of only white people, or in certain areas, people are very racist. And if you're born into that, why don't you care then about Post Malone? He's big, he's very popular, he's really popular, and other white dudes. But let's discuss this. Why? Why do you don't give a fuck? Because actually, if you look up most of the white rappers, you're gonna find something. Just because they were raised like they were raised. And if you realize that the world is not like you were raised, that may be good enough. That may be good enough. If you work the rest, if you really realize that, and if you work the rest of your life uh, to do something that to change that.
What's that got to do with
I became really preachy, but Royce is right.
Post Malone is what I'm talking about. The reason Post Malone exists and it has the level of success that he has is because not just of Eminem, but the impact of Eminem, how Eminem was used by the machine and these companies, these corporations to change the market of hip hop and allow them to control the
So you
market.
think Post
So he's saying that the only reason that Post Malone exists is because of Eminem. Because he's a white rapper. Eminem is a white rapper. That's why Post Malone exists, because he's also white.
You
that
think
shit.
Post Malone's presence in the culture is a bad thing? You think
hold
that's
on,
a
Yeah,
hold on,
bad
I
Dave.
thing
do.
for the culture?
I do.
I really don't really fuck with
Hold on,
Post
Dave.
Malone from what
Hold up,
I
Dave.
haven't listened to a lot of his shit. From what I've seen of him,
Yo,
he
one
seems,
mic, guys.
he
One
seems
mic.
like
One
a Kid
mic.
Rock type of dude to me.
They
No,
did it
he's
with
not a Kid Rock type of dude, bro. He's not. He's
They
not.
did it. They did it with the Beastie Boys way before that.
Yeah, but
Wait,
it
what?
didn't work. And the Beastie Boys was a little
What you mean it
more.
didn't work?
They
That
did what
shit
with the
went.
Beastie Boys? They did what with the Beastie Boys?
I'm saying if you're talking about white people rapping in hip hop, that was already successful. So it's not Eminem.
Yeah.
Right, but
Eminem is not the
you went from
precursor
the
to
Beastie
success.
Boys to 14 years later with Eminem. There was nothing. You had Third
And
Phase.
and what's
Face, you
happened?
have Vanilla
And,
Ice.
yeah, and what
Right,
happened
and what
after
else?
that? Like what?
Every
What
every
else?
every white boy, every white boy.
Eminem
Listen,
is when all the white rappers, white
listen.
hip-hop
Every white
people
boy,
now have come into the business. There
every
wasn't
white boy
nobody else.
every white boy came into here, dragged their nuts through the culture, and kept it moving to rock. Except Marshall, he's the only one. Everybody else,
Well, why
including Rick
did?
Rubin.
Well, he could have went. He could have went. He could have went and did the Rock. Let him.
So, yeah, okay, he could have went, but he didn't. He hasn't. He hasn't went anywhere. So what is your argument? Is that you don't like him? That's your argument. To what? I don't get this. This conversation is going nowhere. It's going
Yeah,
nowhere.
but he didn't because he's hip hop.
He shouldn't. He just should.
He was raised by hip hop, but that's your opinion. But I'm just telling you that's something to look at. Like what?
Yeah, you have an opinion, and you can hold him accountable to the things that he's done before. Yeah, sure. You can not like him. You can say he's racist, and no one will be able to say anything against that. Maybe Royce. That's why Royce is here. He's defending him, but there are things that you can't undo.
What Dave Mays is talking about, I think the countercultural kind of like thing that Dave Mays is talking about, y'all are throwing him in that category just because he's white, and you doing it not knowing who you talking about. You just assuming.
I'm doing it based
You comparing them to Kid Rock.
He
That's
was the
that's
catalyst
crazy.
for it all. He was the catalyst. Whether it was intentional by his part or not, that's how he was used.
So the
by
Beastie
system.
Boys weren't a catalyst?
No.
What about
Because-
third base?
How would you quantify them as not being a catalyst?
I mean,
We acting like
Beastie
that's
Boys
crazy.
because the Beastie Boys didn't.
The Beastie Boys
First of
wasn't
all-
even rappers. Them niggas was doing all that bullshit music and came
Right,
and
that
did
Beastie
one rap
Boys
album.
was like
You
a,
will not, and you won't
a
say ways
novelty
that
act,
shit was.
really. I mean, they were
No, that's
doing
not what you
Wait.
at.
So the Beastie
No.
Boys were not. Wow.
They wasn't even rappers at first.
But
They actually
the
came and
Beastie
became
Boys didn't
rappers.
spark
Are you
everything.
familiar with what was happening in downtown Manhattan, like 82, 83, when the scenes were colliding? So you're bringing up the fact
Yeah.
that they weren't originally rappers. Yes, they had a group called, was it Cookie Puss, or was it the Cookie Puss era?
That's not what I'm saying. Just
No,
listen what I'm saying.
but
It's
do you
the-
know
it's
the
the
era that
impact.
you're speaking on?
No. But just listen.
Well, then you
what I'm
might,
saying.
but then you might not want to speak on it because right now you're
No,
entering
but-
into territory that you're
No, it's
clearly
not.
not clear on. You are
No,
clearly not clear on this era. You are clearly not clear on this era, bro.
Just listen. Just listen. The same thing they talking about with M. It's enough people that you could convict for that. Not the one motherfucker that's the rapper. Not the one motherfucker that stayed in hip hop. It's a lot of motherfuckers that came from other genres that came into hip hop. It's other motherfuckers who was hip hop that went into other genres.
Agreed.
The one
Okay. So I get the argument here that he was born into hip hop, that he stayed in hip hop, and he'll forever be in hip hop. It doesn't matter if it's the most popular thing or not. And he's actually a contributor to hip hop being the most popular. But we'll talk about that later.
white boy that's been this shit the whole time, then be like, that's crazy. And no, it's not M's fault that the white boy influx happened. It's not his fault. It was white boys in between and white boys after. There's still not one as successful as that one. It don't
That
matter how
nigga
many
was side by
thousands of
side. He
motherfuckers.
was side by side with us at the open mics, at all the battles. You know what I'm saying? Like the same way we came up, he came up. The only difference is he's just a white boy. That's the difference.
Now,
That's
I
the- I don't
will-
think-
and
I
I get it. I was watching Matt Hoffa's show. He's a better rapper. And they were like Mar1 and the other dude, I forgot his name. I'm so sorry. It doesn't matter. Mar1 was talking. They were talking about Eminem and how he came up in the culture and how a lot of people were afraid of him for the better rap. And what I want to say, he was born into that, right? He was raised into that.
Not discount
Again,
the
I don't
fact
think
that-
us, I don't think us as the culture. I don't think all of us put him up to some on some high platform like
Did,
the greatest. Like me personally,
he,
that's Hove for me. Hove is
what
at
what
the
ab-
tippy top of
what
lyricism
about
to
the
me.
song? What about the song where he used the N word with the ER in it? What about that one? Did you
Okay,
listen to
I
that
heard about
one? And
that, but I've never heard
what
that.
was your thought about that,
Who is that asking me that question?
Dave?
What song are you talking about, Dave?
One of those songs from that tape where he said, "I don't like the chicks with the
It's the
big
same
Dave,
butts
Dave,
song.
because
It's the
Dave,
that's
same
Dave,
that."
song.
I'm just
Dave.
asking.
Let me tell you something, Dave. Back then, when y'all was doing that shit, when y'all had that little
What
baby
about?
beef
No,
that
we're
y'all
not talking
had.
about
No,
what
no, no.
y'all was
Listen, listen,
doing. We're
listen,
talking about
listen,
the
listen.
song that
When
he
y'all was doing,
made and what he
listen. Let me talk.
said.
Let me talk, man. Like when y'all had y'all little baby beef going on. I was in Detroit. Me and M wasn't speaking to each other. We wasn't around each other. I don't have nothing to do with that. You know what I'm saying? So
Right. I'm not talking about
whatever
no
he.
baby beef or none of that. I don't know what you're talking about.
No,
We're
nigga,
talking
that's what
about
that's
Eminem.
what y'all
You're saying
were
he came
engaged
up
in.
in the culture side by side, this, that, and the other, and he's just like all of us. I'm saying, but not do all of us have a song where we use the Nigger word derogatively towards black people, where we have another song where we call black people porch monkeys?
Man,
We
Dave,
have another
you gonna
song.
have to. You
I'm
know
just
what? You know
asking.
what? The same thing that Mouse is talking about with M. I'm gonna have to see that with you. I'm gonna have to see some receipts with you to see what you really doing for the fucking community to be so
Why
you
you
can be
try?
some
I
sort
mean,
of
we can, first of all, we can talk
what.
about me all day, but why
No, no,
you
no, no. We're
changing the
not gonna talk
subject,
about
bro?
you all day.
I'm
Cause we're
talking
not gonna
about the
talk about you
subject,
all day.
the facts at
I'm
hand.
saying.
First of all, we're not gonna talk about you the whole day. But yeah, let's see some receipts, I guess. That's why I asked why is he like me? I know I just giving I'm giving my opinion. I will give my opinion on this after the video just because I am from where I am and I have an insight to what was happening.
You don't get to be a gatekeeper. Who the fuck are you? Like, what
What do
have
you
you
mean? Who
done?
the fuck am I? I'm the man who created the source, and the source.
Look, hear this. How condescending that is. That's terrible. That's terrible. Even yeah, let's say Dave is a big contributor. Source is just a magazine from what's morally from a moral perspective and from uh, a perspective, a cultural perspective. Magazines shouldn't have a big influence. Uh, well, how do you say? News and all of that shouldn't have a big influence onto anything. They should just do what they are supposed to do. And for him to be so condescending about that he is a founder of the Source magazine, that doesn't put you anywhere. That doesn't put you anywhere. They can only you can only sit in your chair, do what you do, and that's it. For you to say this, that just means that something is wrong. Not that something is for you to be here, for you to think that you should be here, that means that something is wrong.
Help
Yeah,
create
yeah,
all of
yeah.
this for everybody on here.
You partnered up with the
Everybody
man
on
that
here.
ruined it. You partnered up with the man that ruined it. So we on to the next topic. That's it.
So
You ain't
so you
nobody like that.
so
Okay.
I agree with
Okay.
you. I agree.
Oof, oof.
Hold on.
I
Okay.
know it's okay.
Look, I
No.
agree with you, Royce. I
I
agree.
agree. I agree with the approach that Royce took. I agree because this is going left. Obviously, you can't. I don't want to talk about that. I'm not. I'm not the
Agree
person
with
to
you,
discuss it.
right? We can't have two white people compete because then it started looking like a savior complex battle. Now I'm asking you as a black motherfucker in the culture. I'm asking you. I'm not Dave, so you that same thing don't work with me. So I'm asking you. You okay with that nigga? You okay with that white man doing that and then smiling in your face?
I'm not. I don't look at it like that. I'm not okay. I'm not okay with what was said on the tape. But I'm also taking in consideration that he was a youngin. He was a youngin, and I don't think there's a white person who exists that didn't use that word at some point. Like I just look at it like that, and then I
Yeah.
weigh that against the good qualities that's in him that I noticed and the shit that
Yeah, that's what I said. We'll go back for just a second. That's what I said. Obviously, I didn't experience that because I'm from Eastern Europe. There are basically no black people here, with the exception of some. And lately, of course, where with the American football growing, expanding to the whole world, there are now, but there weren't back then. There weren't, and we didn't have. We also like We should discuss that later. I'm going back to that topic.
Who
We're going to
exists
discuss it
that
later.
didn't use that word at some point. Like I just look at it like that, and then I
Yeah.
weigh that against the good qualities that's in him that I noticed, and the shit that he did for me coming up that he didn't need to do. And the time we spent with each other, I came to
I,
the conclusion that I don't feel he a racist, and I kept
Okay,
it.
so yeah, and he kept it moving. So yeah, that's what I figured. Because you can spend time with a. It's different when you're there. It's easy for me to speak about it because I'm not there. I'm not experiencing that. But if you are there, if you are next to that person, it's more of a human factor in it than that it is like this.
Moving.
People
You know what I
grow.
mean? That's really it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't understand what Dave and Benzino want the culture to do. What do y'all want us to do? Like y'all want us to throw him in the fire, throw him away? Like the
I
dude is a,
want
he's a
I don't
major
know about
contributor.
David Benzino. That's what I want. I want y'all to do that. I
Yeah,
want y'all to
all right,
toss
cool.
this nigga.
Nah, that ain't happening. That
Man,
ain't
Why
happening.
though?
if y'all
Because
gonna
I
ride
think it
him,
because with him, I think what happens on a larger scale, on a more
Well,
grandiose scale in black culture, he's holding up a space. He's taking up space. That and like I said, Royce, I'm not just saying this because you here. I said this shit yesterday. I've said this shit on many a podcast. If this nigga not here taking up space, I think you get that credit.
Okay, so this is the biggest issue. I'm gonna stop it here. I'm not gonna play it anymore. I'm not gonna watch it the whole thing. I don't think I should. The video is long in itself. So the biggest issue here is that he's taking up space, and the biggest issue is that he's not that huge of a contributor to hip hop. So on that note, I wanted to discuss. First of all, I don't listen to Eminem. It's just how it is, and uh, uh, there are amazing albums, Eminem's albums like the Marshall Matters. That one is just amazing, simply amazing. And you can say that it's Dr. Dre that influenced that. You can say whatever you want. That actually is true, probably, but it's Eminem. It's not someone else. It's him. And the fact that he grew up in that culture should say enough. But what I want to say, uh, Eminem is least respected in the U.S. When you look at the whole world, he's the least respected in the U.S. And for where I'm from, he's highly respected. And uh, if you ask anyone, even the people that don't listen to rap, they would say that they like listening to him. So uh, he he had a big influence on me. I was listening prior to that. I grew up listening to hip hop. I grew up like my first grade. I remember I wanted that. It was a Serbian rap. It was a Sia. It was like a cassette. There were still cassettes, and I was so happy. I listened so since 6 7 years old. I was listening, and when Eminem started popping up, um, he was so like it was so like out there. It was different, right? And he was a good rapper, but he was also like a figure that like a pop star. And I was attracted to that. I was young. I was attracted to that. I used to listen to that. I used to love those songs. And actually, he influenced me to go and listen to other rap because I wanted to understand what does 9-inch nails in my eyelids means or whatever. I wanted to understand that. And he's the reason I know English so well right now. And he's the reason I listen to my whole life. I listen to rap, and I will probably always listen to rap. Mm, And it's not like I'm a cool kind of thing because it's not really cool here. It's not really cool. The people that I'm around, it's not really cool to listen to rap. I just love it, and that's it. And he's a big contributor to that. And that's what I'm saying, that he's least respected in the US, and his fan base are people that would probably not listen to hip hop, not listen to rap if it wasn't for him. And not to mention the accolades and whatever, But that's what I wanted to say. And I don't listen to him anymore. I don't like his music. Let's be frank. I don't like his music. That's it. The last thing that he did, like the last, right? The Net and all of those. I like those. Those are decent, right? My favorites I like. For me, number one will always and forever will be Sean Price. He's my number one rapper, and he will always be number one rapper for me. And that is my personal opinion. If you say he's he is boring, he raps about the same things all the time, okay, that's your opinion. Okay, all right. I don't have anything to say to contrast that. I don't want to, right? But you can't neglect the fact what Eminem did for the culture. That's all I want to say. That's all I want to say. Because the biggest issue here is obviously that. But they're trying to make it a racial issue. I don't know why. If you wanted to cancel him, you should have canceled him back then. But with all that he did, that he has done up until this point, it's not fair. It's just not fair. And if you're saying he's taking up space as an argument, that is just simply not true. Because everyone else, there are a lot of rappers that are more popular, like number-wise, right? They're doing more numbers, they're doing better than Eminem. And they are, in my opinion, better. And I think he's not taking up space. I think just he's a huge contributor to hip-hop being the biggest genre that it is right now. That's just what I think. Because he influenced a big part of the world. Just because of that. I do see the argument for the racial slurs and for all the other things, right? I see the argument for that. And to that I say that, yeah, that shouldn't happen. Everyone that does that, if he was to do that right now, if he was dropping an album right now with Basement Productions, I would never ever look that name up and never ever wanted to have nothing to do with that. And I think it should be like that. I think that cancel culture is good in some ways, in ways like this way that we are discussing right now. I think that's all that I want to say. That this video is long enough. I just want to say that, yeah, I think Royce is right. That's it. I'm not defending anyone. He's not my favorite rapper, and he'll probably never will be. I just listen to different kind of music. And that's it. Guys, I don't know. This is my honest opinion, and me being from where I am, I think I can give you a good insight. Again, I don't consider myself to be I shouldn't have an opinion in this. The only reason I'm filming the video is just because of that. That's the solely reason that I'm doing this. And maybe there will be someone that listens to this and maybe maybe thinks it through, right? Because the thing that Dave Mays was referencing is actually happening still. So what are we doing? What are we doing? What are we actually doing? Thank you guys. If you like the video, if you agree or disagree, you can comment, you can subscribe, you can do whatever you want. If you stumble upon this video, this is just, it's probably not gonna have any views. Thank you anyway, and see ya.